Hey everyone, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about stacking silver during a silver shortage. There's an article that I came across that I found interesting, and of course we've all been dealing with some insane premiums and things like that that have been going on with silver lately. And it has caused a lot of people to change up how they've been buying silver and some of their silver stacking strategies. And it's completely understandable because, we all do have our budgets and what we like to pick up and everything. But it just so happens that the shortage of some of the silver, the shortage of some of the silver has been driving up the premiums to a crazy point. And we all know the main culprits, like the American Silver Eagles and stuff like that. So I do know that, I have seen in my comments that when I've been talking about things like these, there are a few different points of view on this, and a few different ways to go if you still want to continue stacking silver. And one of the ways to do this, even though there's a shortage and the premiums are hiked, is to just buy the exact same way that you've been buying before all this. A lot of people say they're ignoring this, and a lot of people have been stacking for a long time. So their cost average is going to be a lot different than someone that has just recently started picking up silver stacking. And we've all know what prices have been like in 2020 and into this year. But if you've been stacking for decades and you have a couple of 1,000 ounces of silver, I'm sure that it's not an ideal situation, but you'll be able to weather the storm a little bit better with your cost average picking up at these prices. So I do know that some people have said that as much as they can, they are going to still pick up the American Silver Eagles or the Morgans. I know that some people stack those exclusively, and they have the means and they have the cost dollar average in their head is at the point where they can still be picking up, even though a lot of people find that these premiums are being prohibitive. You know what I mean? They've been stopping picking up certain ones, and that's the camp that I'm in. I've seen with this what's been going on the past couple of weeks, that the tubes that I've been working on, like the American Silver Eagles and the Maple Leafs, that's going to have to take a little bit of a back seat. So for me, I've been looking for silver that seems to have not been affected too much with the shortage and the premium hikes. And for me, that has been junk silver. And the biggest thing that I've been picking up on eBay, at least, are these Canadian silver dollars. So I don't find that the prices on these have been affected too much on some of the auctions that I've been seeing. There are some that are quite expensive and hiked up, so I just don't place a bid on those. But for the most part, I've been seeing a lot of the Canadian silver dollars for the same price or around the same price as before all this stuff happened. And some of the half dollars, the American junk silver that I picked up from Silver Gold Bull. Now, they don't have a lot of selection in junk silver, but they still do have the best deal that I found was the random half dollar. So you're either going to get a Kennedy, a Franklin, or a Walker. And last time I ordered 10, and they gave me 10. They gave me 9 Kennedys and 1 Walker. I ordered another 10, $5 face value for my next order that I placed yesterday. And it'd be interesting to see what they send me there, if it's going to be more Kennedys or if there'll be a little bit of an assortment or a variety. So yeah, those are two ways to deal with what's been going on with the shortage and the premium hikes. There is one is to not change at all if you have the means and the average to just go ahead and pick up the Silver Eagles just the way you would without what's been going on. Then that is one way of doing it. The second way is the way that I've been doing, is just altering my strategy slightly in the short term to be picking up more items that weren't as affected with the premiums as say an American Eagle or a Maple Leaf. And the third way of doing it, which I have seen in the articles, in my comments on some of the videos that I've made, some people, to deal with the shortages and the increased prices, is they just stack in cash. They're going to wait until this passes. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that it will be soon. We do know how long it took for everything to stabilize in 2020 with some of the premiums. But yeah, who knows? I'm not going to make a prediction or anything like that because I really have no idea how long it'll take before things start to normalize and everything like that. But I completely agree with you that if you don't want to compromise on your stacking goals and your stacking strategy, and you don't want to be picking up silver that you don't particularly care for or wouldn't be stacking normally, then yeah, it does make a lot of sense to just put that cash aside until the situation ends up or clears up, and you can start picking up silver how you want to do it. You know what I mean? It's up to you when you say, I'm okay with this premium, I'm okay with spending this amount, and that's up to the individual. So if you don't want to be compromising on the silver you buy, maybe just stacking cash aside is how you'd like to go about it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump onto the computer because there was an article that was talking about the silver shortage that I thought was pretty interesting. Okay, so this is the article that I found. It is on FX Street. That's the website there. I will leave a link in the description, but the title there is "Short Silver Silver Shortage Continues to Rise." And I'll just get into the first couple of paragraphs here. It says, gold and silver traders are understandably frustrated with the lack of movement in the price of silver, all while Bitcoin goes beyond the moon. The frustration is because demand on physical silver has skyrocketed and physical shortages at coin dealers are acute internationally. When such a disparity between demand and supply appears, the price is expected to move in a way to reflect this disparity. And after the major move higher, silver hasn't been moving all that much. So we all know what's been going on with that silver squeeze that everyone was hyped about, and everyone thought that this was going to be a big move for silver, and then it didn't really pan out. There was that little bit of movement, and then it sort of just went back down, not all the way back down to where it was before. But now it was just sort of sitting there at the 34 Canadian. I always look at it Canadian. That's where I'm buying off the silver gold bull usually, and they have the prices down there in Canadian. So I'll put that up there with a conversion into American. But yeah, definitely there has not been a lot of movement since that. That it was going into the weekend. There was a huge hype. All that Wall Street bet stuff happened and GameStop. And then people were starting to talk about, those message boards were talking about targeting silver. And I saw some articles like that on Thursday and Friday. So all the stackers and everyone else that was reading the stories about GameStop and all that, we had a whole weekend to sit and stew in the hype over the not 4chan, Reddit, about a subreddit talking about silver being very undervalued, and that might be the next thing that Wall Street Bets targets. So obviously we know that didn't quite come through. It didn't move as much as GameStop would. It is totally different things. It's not apples and apples we're talking here with physical silver and GameStop. But I did think that there was going to be a bit of a bump, but unfortunately there wasn't. And the only thing that has happened is that it has driven the demand for physical silver up, obviously, which in turn has, it seems to have affected the premiums, obviously. So just going down here, it's natural and even widespread to blame silver market manipulation for these physical shortages and cry foul. However, I define manipulation slightly differently. My understanding of manipulation is preventing the market clearing price from being reached by some non-market force. The classic example is minimum wage laws that force surpluses in the labor market, unemployment, or gasoline price control after hurricanes, for example, that force major shortages in the affected areas. In that strict sense, there is no bona fide silver market manipulation going on because there's no law against changing whatever you want for a silver coin. So he goes down here to say that it's more of market tinkering instead of manipulation. So he's going to try and make this point here that what's been going on is market tinkering and how tinkering is different than manipulation. What's going on in the silver market is more accurately defined as tinkering rather than administration, blah, blah, blah. Okay, tinkering is only possible in these markets for extended periods of time because the demand for physical silver and gold as well is divided into two discrete forms that have nothing to do with each other. One in industry and the other is industrial and one is monetary. The tinkering appears to be taking place primarily in the futures market and not the physical market, hence the enormous premiums for physical coins since the beginning of February. And that's another reason why I'm not looking into getting into the futures market or getting into the paper silver market, but I do want to follow it and understand what's going on with it. That's why I like watching Juice Stacker. He definitely does some good market analysis, and he's helped me understand a lot more about market movement and market analysis. So yeah, I will leave a link down here. You don't want me to read the entire article, but it is going over a lot of what the stacking channels have been talking about with the silver shortage and the premiums going up. So it's definitely an interesting read if you do want to read the entire thing. But like always, I will leave a link in the article. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit, and if you're interested in it, you can read through the whole thing. So there you have it. That is the article that I saw today that got me thinking about the silver shortage and how I've been dealing with it. So I've made some videos already talking about how I've changed up my strategy, but it got me thinking about other people and people in the comments that were giving their opinions on everything and how they're dealing with the shortage. So I just thought it'd be interesting for everybody, and let me know in the comments what you thought and how you're going about it. Like I said, I have heard from a lot of you. I do know that a lot of you are stopping buying silver altogether. Like I said, I didn't want to talk about gold in this because I did pivot a little bit towards gold in the meantime, but the title here is silver stacking, so I want to primarily focus on that. A big chunk of people that have responded to my videos have been saying that, yeah, they are just stacking some cash away, and they have no problem waiting it out, and they'll have a nice big chunk of fiat currency to convert into silver when the opportunity is right for them. But that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.